this next one, this next story, I think affects pretty well everybody. So let's go over and get through this. The headline is YouTube Free is silently testing 5 ads instead of 2 before your video starts. Thoughts, concerns?
I'll never use YouTube again if that happens.
Seems like that a lot of people might do that. What do you think, Dylan?
YouTube anymore. My lord, what has it become?
Yeah. Well,
Like, I mean, and I just remember like the whole controversy with Team Four Star. That was probably one of the most fucked up like situations that's ever happened on YouTube. And for those who don't know, Team Four Star is a Dragon Ball based YouTube channel
oh yeah.
that did online streaming, and then they were also well known for doing these skits called Dragon Ball Z Abridged, which I watched every episode of them, and they were hilarious as hell.
Are you
But what
talking?
happened?
I guess talking about Bandai and like how they basically just fucking deleted people's channels.
Yeah.
Not
Like,
not just that. It was also it was Bandai, and there was somebody else that was involved too. And then after that, they put a copyright strike on the channel, which ended up getting the channel almost completely banned off YouTube and having all over the world really trashed. But luckily, what they did was they just agreed to no longer do Dragon Ball Z Abridged, because apparently, even though that literally in every single episode that they start, they literally say that Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball TV is owned by Akira Toriyama, yada 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 yada. Please support the official release. They put that in every single episode, but yet, and not to mention, in Dragon Ball Xenoverse, the multiplayer Dragon Ball game, you can like be a Saiyan or a human, and basically go through the Dragon Ball Z storyline as a time patroller. All of the voices, there's select voices that your avatar can have. Members of Team Four Star help them with that project of both Dragon Ball Xenoverse and Xenoverse 2. But
Yeah.
again, despite all of that, and they followed the rules of the copyright rules, Bandai was like, fuck you, copyright strike, screw you. And that, my friends, is what happened to Dragon Ball Z Bridge and why it got canceled, because they did all the Saiyan saga, they did the Frieza saga, and then they were on the verge of getting the Cell saga done, and then they were going to do the Majin Buu saga. But then, right before the Cell saga was about ready to come to a close, that's when all that happened, and they did end up finishing the Cell saga, but they never did the Majin Buu saga because they were threatened to have their YouTube channel completely banned from YouTube because of Bandai.
Yeah. So that was
So
like a
yeah,
whole separate story outside of this story about the 5 ads. But
but yeah, but that's just
YouTube
one thing.
is getting, I think,
It's
a bit out of control. Like,
yeah.
so it wouldn't,
Wait.
if they actually communicated, I'm just saying, like, the biggest problem with YouTube is that they do these various things to the these, creators, and then you don't really get any feedback as to why they're doing it. Like, sometimes it says that you're, very clearly making a violation, but then a lot of times they just kind of make decisions on things and then, kind of go back and forth on it. There was like a recent story about this kind of bigger 14 million subscriber channel where this guy was claiming that, YouTube is doing favoritism, and he even actually accused them of racism because, he's a black guy and they didn't do the same content restriction, like 18 plus or mature content restriction on a white dude's channel or whatever. But I don't know that I'm, in the same ballpark as what he is there. But to be fair, even if it wasn't racism, and it most likely isn't, right? Like, there's not probably like a covert kind of racism going on over it in YouTube, but the people that make the determinations of these copyright strikes have their own biases. They are human, so Anyway, the reason that you could even make that accusation is because they never tell anybody. Like, they just keep quiet about it and then just
Mhm.
stay stuck on these various different decisions, even though many times it's extremely kind of messed up and not popular. They'll just, stick to their guns and won't explain as to what's going on. So then people speculate because all you can do is speculate. They're not coming out with an official message as to why they, banned Actman, for example, on like a bunch of stuff regarding this quantum TV debacle that happened. And then there's been a recent one, like I said, with that one guy who's got 14 million subscribers. I'm forgetting his name off the top of my head. But anyway, he is accusing them too of just like, hey, what am I to kind of speculate here as to why I'm getting this, focus on my channel in negative fashion when other channels aren't getting the same, criticism. Were you trying to say something, Sloop?
I was just gonna say the only thing I can see like a problem with the Dragon Ball Abridged series was they kind of were essentially just like recreating their own version of the show using Bandai's characters. Like all the characters are still named the same. They're kind of just like doing their own unserialized version or of the show, and I kind of see why they would have had a problem with that. But I do think that like the way they were doing it did fall within like fair use. But I see why they might have a leg to stand on like legally because it's kind of like I don't know if the Chinese just decided to make their own knockoff version of Dragon Ball Z and just at the beginning of every episode been like yeah, we're crediting this to the original creators, but we're still making our own show and trying to make money from it. Maybe that's their logic behind it.
Right.
Well, I mean, I can see where you're coming from on that, but the weird thing was, if that was such an issue, then why did they wait until they had like literally like four sagas in one, and not to mention again, they helped with the Dragon Ball Xenoverse project. It doesn't make sense.
Business has
Yeah,
changed though, so like
yeah.
that's
It could be somebody, whoever was in charge, just like somebody else, like became in charge of handling that kind of situation, and they were like, "Nope, we're not going to allow that."
yeah. So then they had to kind of retroactively go around and punish channels for things that they feel like they should have been punishing all along.
Like I can't open up my own Well, I can, but I can't open up my own Amazon store and start selling like Disney shirts, but call them like, oh, they're Disney shirts. They're not Disney, even though the logo looks the same and all that stuff. Like, kind of like I could see why they might consider it copyright infringement, even if it's trying to take like a different creative direction with it. But oh, you fucking asshole! Sorry.
He pulled right in front of you, dude.
Yeah.
Oh. So I'm going to actually read.
road
I've got
rage.
this kind of going back to the 5 ads. I think we've very clearly stated that YouTube is kind of off the rails lately anyway. So this is kind of just a little bit like, okay, guys, you're definitely once again not reading the room. People are getting fucking pissed about this shit.
And
And
also they're hypocrites too because they'll pull that
excuse me.
shit. They'll pull the copyright shit, but at the same time, they'll spam you with ads of clear ripoffs or
Yeah.
misleading ads of like shitty mobile games. So
Yeah.
they'll allow that. But then also they will also strike YouTubers for having sexual content. Like I remember a YouTuber got a ban strike on his account because he was streaming Cyberpunk 2077, and we knew that that game was whacked to the max glitchy,
Yeah.
and a guy's junk got exposed because the game got so super glitchy, and he got a pornographic strike on his account.
How
But
was his
yet
junk exposed?
he was driving
The
or something. He
He's
was
just
trying to
sitting
drive
there
a car.
without any
his
pants on.
his well, no, his character, not the
Oh,
guy
okay,
actually like
okay.
playing.
His character, yeah, his character.
There,
Yeah,
there
his
was
character.
there wasn't a technical glitch that caused within real life his dick to fall out. So.
No, but yeah, it was his character. His junk came out, and then he got banned, and then he got a warning on it or something like that. But then at the same time, they'll show you ads of like girls with their tits bouncing around and like poorly edited ads of like shitty mobile games. I'm like, okay,
Right.
so you'll advertise this as an ad when we never want to play these shitty games that you try to put down our throats, but you'll give a copyright to a guy that was just trying to stream because the game is so shittily made and not finished. You're gonna do that? Like it's
Yeah.
hypocritical.
Do you know what I'm kind of
Sometimes-
surprised at? I'm kind of surprised that the word junk and also titties has been multiple times mentioned, and Mike has made no comments.
Well, I'm taking the high road here. Okay.
In the high road here.
There's always a first time for everything, I suppose.
I'm just
I
surprised.
mean-
That's all I'm saying.
The word titties just kind of loses its impact when it's so frequent.
Well,
But
you
at
gotta
the same time,
you gotta follow it. You gotta precede it with ass in, and then titties, and then that's
ass,
where the charm is.
titties, ass, titties, ass, titties, titties.
I knew I'd be able
titties.
to get him going with that. There you go.
Well, sure, but still. Ryusaki and I had a discussion earlier, actually, about titties. Ryusaki, would you mind regaling the gentleman with some highlights of said conversation while I continue with that?
Ryosaki says
Basically-
there is no such thing as a high road in this case.
Well, there's definitely a low road. There's definitely a low road.
Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah, it's called lollies.
Oh, geez. We haven't even got to the YouTube.
Dylan, go to your room.
I'm already in my room.
Yeah, like how
Got
tits
two
are the
rooms.
best. Exactly. That's definitely a highlight. Tits are indeed the best. But I explained to her, there's no problem in the world that titties can't solve.
Yeah. I don't know about that.
She countered with sometimes you just need a screwdriver. But if you have titties, somebody else will do the screwdriving for you.
I'm just picturing somebody right now, like there's a brain surge, and he's like, "I can't fucking fix this guy. I don't know what the problem is." And
He
somebody
just
just
pulls
whips
out
their
a titty.
tits out, and he's like, "That's nice, but it's not really helpful."
There was an entire episode of Scrubs about that.
Oh, was there?
Yes.
Alright.
Like literally, Elliot
Neurons
decided
activated.
she would flash a young
I
guy.
appreciate it, but you're not
Wanted to
helping
see
at all.
tit. I think he was like I think there was this Make-A-Wish kid. One of the doctors
Oh, no.
whips out her boobs because he wanted to see some tits. And then like somebody else
He's cured.
like somebody else saw them and like his heart palpitation suddenly stopped.
Because his heart exploded.
Yeah, so she found out that her tits can cure diseases and shit.
Oh
Oh my gosh.
And then she overhears a coding patient that doctors are trying to revive with the paddles. And
Oh, no.
he says, "All right, he's gone. Call it." And she runs in. Wait, whoosh, throws out her tits. And he's like, "Right, time of death."
Oh man. Well, on that note,
Flatline.
YouTube Free is silently testing 5 ads instead of 2 before your video starts. YouTube users who are not subscribed to YouTube Premium will now receive up to 5 advertisements to be watched before your video starts.
You know what would make those ads better?
Tits.
Titties.
There you go.
The news broke out when several YouTube Free users started complaining on Twitter and Reddit that they had been receiving 5 ads instead of 2 before they could watch their YouTube video. For several YouTube Free users, they reported that they have received 5... Why does this keep repeating itself? This is definitely from China.
You copy and pasted about 6 times, probably.
Yeah, I must have double copied it. Anyway, regarding that matter,
Somebody-
YouTube has issued an
Chinese.
official reply on Twitter acknowledging the situation and stated the new 5 ad phenomenon could happen to YouTube users with the company's certain type of ad format called bumper ads. As explained by YouTube, these bumper ads are short form ads on the platform that are typically 6 seconds long and unfortunately unskippable. Currently, not all YouTube Free users are experiencing the 5 ads before your video starts situation, so it seems like YouTube is currently testing out the waters among selected YouTube Free users. So, they are just doing a lot of unpopular stuff, including not showing titties.
Well,
Well,
speaking
Mike,
of
you know what we
titties,
need to do.
Jason, I am going to send you a link here to a GIF Now you put that on screen briefly, if you would.
Is it titties?
Yes, but it's
Yes.
proof that tits make everything better.
Have we checked with the sponsors? This is okay.
I can
or-
assure you that it's not pornographic.
Yeah.
It's
we'll,
covered up, but
We'll show it over here.
Oh my god.
Nice.
that scene from Spider-Man.
That actually probably did make that scene better. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Well, Mike,
mean,
the ads are
first
starting to
of
take
all-
over.
First of all, just to say, he's being a very bad superhero in this because people are running in his direction. They can clearly see what he's doing. He's tearing his shirt open, revealing that he is, in fact, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So the titties just kind of cover up that blunder.
But they don't know who he is.
That
Right.
doesn't mean anything. They could see him on the street again. Granted, it is New York, so not likely, but still.
Well, all we know is that the ads are taking over, and Mike, you know what we need to do? We need to find PC Principal. He knows how to stop these ads.
Hey, how's it going,
Inflatable
Hippo? What up?
I mean, so like, I think the problem here is basically we thought that the internet was going to be the solution to not having to watch ad breaks on fucking cable TV all the time, and they tricked us. They got us again.
They got us.
You
They
weren't
fucking got us
supposed to
again.
join them.
You were supposed to be better.
I don't know about the whole ads thing because I literally watched all of Beavis and Butthead Do America on YouTube the other day without a single ad, and
I
it
mean-
is supposed to be free with ads.
They got to
You're
make
just
money
lucky.
somehow. Well, and sometimes that actually does happen. Like sometimes you get a lucky roll and you don't get an ad for a while. But I mean, I don't know. They got to make money somehow, so I kind of understand it.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not able to give the content for free, but there's a certain point where it's like, okay, how much revenue do you really need to make? And that comes back to the whole like capitalism is based on businesses just exponentially earning more and more income every single year. So
Yeah.
it can't be
I
that.
mean-
All right, this year we made $5 million. Next year we made $5 million. That's considered a bad thing. They're supposed to be growing every single year. Like they need to go from 5 million to 6 million to 10 million and like keep gaining more and more like growth.
Yeah.
Just sustaining their current business is not good enough. This motherfucker.
Running India.
These
and there's even
yahoos trying to cut me
channels-
off.
I mean, there's even channels that have like sponsors built into the videos because the YouTuber is, sponsoring that advertiser. But
The ads don't even pay the people like who make the videos very well.
Yeah, and they slap it on top of that. Like for example, I was watching Death Battle this one time, and they always do a sponsor. And then, despite having a sponsor at the beginning of it, and I think like just before like the actual battle happens or at the end of it, YouTube's like, "Hey, you like ads? Guess what? I'm gonna throw an ad within an ad." YouTube is just out of control. They need to chill with the ads, man.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
don't know.
look at Ryusaki over there using Opera GX.
I Opera, it's opera, isn't it?
Pretty sure it's
Opera.
Opera. Because gamers aren't fancy enough to actually go to the opera.
I've literally heard Charlie call it opera. I've never heard anybody call it opera.
I have
This
never
one-
once
Charlie.
ever heard it called opera.
I'm going to call it Opera
This-
because I'm right.
This one I'm gonna fight you on. This one.
You're getting kind of.
You may have won on McAfee. This one I'm fighting you on.
It's not McAfee, it's McAfee. That was
Oh my god!
I know.
What?
Okay.
What?
All right. Well, I'm in the process of driving to McDonald's, so.
I mean, McDonald's is right.
Just go to the Chinese buffet.
Oh man.
I'm going to solve this.
He's
right
going to
now.
Google Translate or something.
Not Google Translate, no. Let's see.
Oh.
Alexa, what is? Oh,
Oh, it's a
I'm pretty
Chromium-based
sure
browser.
I've been
Interesting.
in this same conversation, but for different words, many times in my life. One time, these guys outside a bar about got into fisticuffs because they could not agree on the pronunciation of, and I don't even know what the pronunciation is. I'm just gonna say snus.
Oh, snooze.
Snus. So
Snooze.
somebody
it
else
camel-
Is it
said that it
snus
was
or snooze?
snooze.
It is
Oh,
snooze.
like the camel
I'm
cable
just
thing.
saying
Yeah.
these guys went back and forth, or these
Uh,
two gentlemen went back and forth for well over 40 minutes on the
Also,
snooze and snus, and
You
Google
know,
was brought up. I'm just saying.
Jason,
honestly,
it
I'm
is-
pretty
it
Go
is
ahead.
pronunciation. Thank you.
pronunciation.
How about Illinois?
Oh, do not even.
Illinois, Illinois. No,
Oh, jeez.
Illinois.
Or
But-
Des Moines?
So is that it on the
Well,
Opera? Did you figure anything out?
perhaps. I was just saying
Oh, shit.
that Ryusaki's over there using Opera
Let me go.
GX. And, like, how fancy of you.
To get back to our original topic of ads, I haven't
You're an ad.
not used an ad blocker or not had YouTube. I pay for YouTube Premium because,
Yeah.
like I
I do
said, they
too.
gotta. I think it's worth it. But anyways, so I pay for YouTube Premium. I cannot imagine what YouTube ad-supported YouTube is like. I think I accidentally wasn't logged into my YouTube account once, and I logged in and started watching a video on YouTube, and it started showing me ads. I'm like, "What the fuck is this?" It was, I was like so taken aback. Like, I was like, "This experience is horrible." Like,
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know.
guys,
So
I had,
we got a problem. It
What's the
seems
problem?
that dear Schlooby Snack is, in fact, of the 1% now. He's no longer one of us.
Uh-oh.
because I pay for YouTube Premium.
Yeah.
I also pay for YouTube
he's-
Premium. What's that mean?
It's only like $10 a month.
Get you being able to afford $10 a month.
I just don't. You know, I cut out like 2 avocado toasts a month,
Right.
and I'm good, and I can afford YouTube Premium.
Look at
Right.
this motherfucker eating avocados on toast.
Dang.
Yeah, I get Hulu ad free too, and I remember I was watching Solar Opposites, and I remember they called out people that paid extra to get the ad free, and it's like, did you enjoy that ad? If you didn't, congratulations, Mr. Moneybags.
Exactly.
Dang.
Actually,